New Year's Eve is supposed to be full of excitement. It is the night when people forget their worries, count down the final seconds, and believe that a fresh start is waiting for them. Fireworks fill the sky, laughter echoes everywhere, and time seems to pause for a moment at midnight. But not every place welcomes a new year. Some places remember what happened before, and some nights never truly end. Rowan was tired of crowded parties and loud music. Every year felt the same: fake smiles, expensive clubs, and people pretending to enjoy themselves. This year, he wanted something quieter, something meaningful. Sitting with his friends Aman, Sia, and Kabir, he shared his thoughts. Aman listened carefully, then smiled as if he had already solved the problem. "My uncle owns an old bungalow outside the city," Aman said. "No one lives there anymore. It's peaceful. Just us, no noise, no crowd." Sia frowned. "An empty bungalow? On New Year's night?" Kabir laughed. "That sounds perfect. And slightly creepy." They all laughed. But Sia felt a strange discomfort. She couldn't explain it, but the idea of celebrating in an abandoned place didn't feel right. Still, she didn't want to ruin the mood. By evening, their decision was final. They left the city just after sunset. As the car moved forward, bright streetlights slowly disappeared. The road grew narrower, darker, and quieter. Trees stood on both sides like silent shadows watching them pass. The radio crackled and went silent. One by one, their phones lost signal. "That's weird," Rohan said. "No network at all." "Probably because we're far from the city," Aman replied, though his voice sounded less confident than before. After nearly an hour, the bungalow came into view. It stood alone, surrounded by overgrown bushes and tall trees. The building looked old, tired, and forgotten. Broken windows stared back like empty eyes. As Rowan stepped out and pushed the iron gate, it let out a loud, painful creak that echoed through the still air. Sia shivered. "This place feels wrong." "It's just quiet," Kabir said, forcing a smile. Inside, the bungalow smelled of dust and dampness. Cobwebs covered the corners, and the furniture looked untouched for years. Old photographs hung crookedly on the walls, their frames cracked with age. One photograph caught Rowan's attention. It showed a woman standing near the staircase. She was dressed neatly, her expression calm, but her eyes felt unsettling, as if they were watching him. "Do you feel like that picture is staring?" Sia asked softly. Rohan nodded. "Yeah, I do." They brushed it off, telling themselves it was just their imagination. They cleaned a small area, placed some lights, and tried to bring life into the dead space. By 11:45 p.m., the atmosphere had changed. The air felt colder. The silence felt heavier. From far away, they could hear faint fireworks, like echoes from another world. Suddenly, a loud sound came from upstairs. Thud. Everyone froze. "What was that?" Sia whispered. "Probably something fell," Aman said quickly. "This house is old." Before anyone could respond, slow footsteps echoed from the staircase. Not running, not rushing, just slow, dragging steps. Rowan grabbed his torch and shined it toward the stairs. There was no one there. The footsteps stopped. Then a voice filled the room. "Happy New Year." It was a woman's voice. Cold, emotionless. Sia's eyes filled with tears. "We should leave. Right now." Before anyone could move, the clock struck midnight. 12 loud chimes echoed through the bungalow. At that exact moment, all the doors slammed shut violently. The lights flickered and went out. The windows turned completely dark, as if the outside world had disappeared. The photographs fell from the walls. The picture of the woman vanished. A voice spoke again, this time from behind them. "Why did you come here?" They turned slowly. The woman stood near the staircase. She wore a white dress. Her feet didn't touch the floor. Her face looked blurred, as if she didn't fully belong to this world. "This was my house," she said softly, "and this was my last night." They stood frozen as she spoke. Years ago, the bungalow was full of life. There was music, laughter, and a New Year's party. She was the owner of the house. At midnight, she went upstairs alone. She slipped on the stairs and fell. The party continued. No one noticed. No one stopped celebrating. She died alone, forgotten. Since then, every December 31st night, she waited for someone to remember her. Kabir tried to break the door, but it wouldn't move. The walls felt strangely warm, as if the house itself was alive. Aman fell to his knees. "We're sorry. We didn't know." The woman looked at him with empty eyes. "I didn't know either that silence could hurt more than pain." The room grew colder. Darkness wrapped around them. The last thing they heard was her whisper, "Stay." When morning came, the police found the four friends sitting inside the bungalow. They were alive, but their faces were empty. Something inside them had broken. On the wall, scratched deeply, were the words, "December 31st night, never celebrate alone." And every year since then, the bungalow remains empty. But on New Year's Eve, some say a light turns on upstairs, and a woman waits, still counting.